The Political Compass, an early 2000s website that somewhat arbitrarily matched your political beliefs to your favorite color, and Political Compass memes, a Reddit dedicated to making fun of politics. Despite the obvious overlap between shitposters, politics enthusiasts, and the politics and war game community, we don't really talk about the Political Compass. Well, it changes today. I realized that because the game's politics is totally divorced from reality, the Political Compass can be very useful. So, a brief recap on how it works. There are two dimensions, government control and economics. The North is authoritarian and the South is libertarian, i.e. the North loves government control and the South hates it. The West is economically left and the East is economically right, i.e. the West wants a government-controlled economy and the East wants a deregulated market economy. There's more nuance than that, but we won't need it for this video. I'm going to be putting the top 50 alliances on the compass. This is my perspective on where they fit based on their government type and economic systems. I'm not looking at their culture or the real-life political opinions of their membership. Hopefully this will help new players decide what alliance they want to join, and sort of give you a better indication of what the general alliance is like in this game. ARG is an anarchist and pirate alliance. The members can do whatever they want, but they do have a leader. The leader is elected via mutiny, which is an election any member of the alliance can call. Advanced Syndicalist Mechanics runs 100% taxes, and their members are all old players. Aurora. They have high tax and low tax programs, and their leadership hasn't changed in a very long time. The Black Knights is a low tax dictatorship. I am not ranking them higher because for a dictatorship, they have changed leaders quite a lot. Bourbon Street is a low tax oligarchy. The same people have been rotating the leadership role for years, and they frequently rebrand the alliance. Camelot is a high-tax monarchy. Their government and leadership has changed a lot, so they could arguably be more libertarian. Carthago is a 100% tax alliance, with two supreme leaders. They dictate every aspect of the alliance, and they are unlikely to resign, so they are the titular character for what's left. Castle Camelot is a branch of Camelot for players without Discord. They have low taxes and very few rules and obligations. Cataclysm is a high-tax oligarchy. They have a lot more control over their members than most alliances on this list, and when I was researching this video they argued they should be considered as authoritarian as Carthago. The reason I placed them lower is because their government can easily check their leader's power. Church of Adam is a low-tax alliance with extremely old leadership. The Commonwealth is technically a democracy, since they elect their leaders. However, they only hold elections when their current leader resigns, and in the meantime they can appoint whomever they like to government and enact whatever policies they wish. Convent of Adam is the training alliance for Church of Adam. Dark Brotherhood is a low-tax alliance with an extremely old leader that will never resign. Dead Rabbits is another low-tax alliance, as far as I'm aware, and their leadership hasn't changed in quite a while. Eclipse has low-tax and high-tax brackets. They are closer to an oligarchy than a dictatorship, but that could easily change. Politically, they are experimenting with federalism, so you will see other alliances that are a part of them on this compass. The Elites. They were a low-tax democracy, but that might have changed. The Enterprise. They are a training alliance for the Syndicate. The only thing that makes them distinct, as far as I know, is that they cannot trade on the open market. They have to trade with other members within the alliance, and for discounted rates. Pakistan is a low-tax oligarchy, though their charter might still describe them as a democracy. The Federation is a low-tax monarchy. They recently accepted members from the Hermanos Alliance, which ran 100% taxes, so that might change. What is not changing is that their leader is permanent. Federated States of Orbis is a low-tax democracy with frequent elections for their president and senate. They are one of the few alliances with a powerful legislature, which must be consulted for declarations of war and the creation of new economic programs. Their legislature can even vote to remove their leader. The Global Alliance and Treaty Organization is a low-tax democracy from Cybernations. They have a lot in common with FSO, but their leaders tend to be older players. Genesis is a low-tax dictatorship. Grumpy is a no-tax dictatorship, with an extremely old leadership. Their leader personally interviews everyone that joins the alliance, kicks those that do not fight well, and requires they have a high city count and pay a fee to join. However, they also consult their members more than other alliances on this list when making political decisions. Guardian is a low-tax oligarchy with an extremely old leadership. Hand of Fate. They have high-tax and low-tax programs. Hogwarts is a low-tax alliance that I don't have much information on, but their leaders are quite veteran. House Stark is a low-tax dictatorship with a very old leadership. Their founder recently retired and their head of foreign affairs succeeded them. The Immortals is another low-tax dictatorship. Their founder recently retired as well, but the successor was less obvious and the high government might have more power than people realize. Morningstar is another anarchist and pirate alliance like ARG, but unlike ARG, they do not elect their leaders and they can kick members more easily. Name Withheld is a low-tax alliance run by older players. Polaris is a low-tax dictatorship from Cybernations. Their members are extremely old players. R&R is a low-tax dictatorship whose leader is also from Cybernations. Their alliance lives and ends with their leader. Rose is our first Lib-Left alliance. Their members with small nations have high taxes. Their members with average nations have low taxes. And their members with large nations have high taxes, depending on what economic program they are in. They elect their leaders every year, and when they are in office, they can appoint anyone to their cabinet and enact whatever policy they wish, similar to the Commonwealth. They also have a council of advisors composed of former leaders and government members that informally checks the new leader's power. Sanctuary is a low-tax alliance. I don't know much about them beyond that. Serpentis is a training alliance for Aurora. Soldiers of Liberty was a democracy at some point. They've changed, however, and they're more of an oligarchy now. They're still fairly low taxes. They have a flat tax system, so they tax all of their members the same thing, I think with a few exceptions. The Syndicate is a low-tax oligarchy. They are led by 4 government members acting together in concert. Some of their leadership has changed recently, so they might bristle the most at being called an oligarchy. The Armed Pacifists is a training alliance for the fighting pacifists, and I'll explain more about their policies when they come up. Terminus Est is a member of Eclipse's Federation. They follow Eclipse politically, but remain reasonably autonomous with their own taxes, government, and members. The Fighting Pacifists is a no-tax triumvirate. It'd be rather difficult to get into the leadership roles, but it could be fairly easy to get into government, and there's basically no requirements on the members' economics. They can do whatever they want. The Legion is another low-tax dictatorship from Cybernations. The Knights Radiant is a low-tax monarchy. Their leaders can do whatever they want, but typically only rule for a year or 2 before naming a successor and retiring. United Purple Nations is a low-tax democracy. United Socialist Nations is one of the 2 self-proclaimed socialist alliances on this list. However, they are a dictatorship with low taxes, which puts them in alt-right. USSR is the other self-proclaimed socialist alliance, and they are a dictatorship with 100% taxes. I'm putting them below Carthago because their rules aren't as strict and their government is newer. Waffle House is a low-tax democracy. Weebinism is a semi-low-tax dictatorship. They have experimented with higher taxes, though, so that might change. Way is a low-tax oligarchy. World Task Force is a low-tax democracy, but they have an extremely old membership, and their leader has never changed. Yara is a low-tax dictatorship. They are officially neutral and confine themselves to loaning and trading. If you agree with where I put your alliance on the compass, then like and subscribe. If you disagree, then leave a comment. Most of my viewers aren't subscribed, so be good to change that.